Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you've watched any of my previous videos, you probably know that I'm a huge flashlight nerd. If I had to guess, I would say that I currently have probably 300 flashlights, and I for sure have had over 3,000 plus flashlights. And of all the flashlights I have, this little guy right here probably gets used 95% of the time for me. I bought this guy back in 2018 and it's been in my pocket every single day since then. And I think I did a review on this, but like I said, I've had it for 7 years. But I know for sure I've included this like when I do my EDC videos and whatnot. I highly recommend this light. Well, for as much as I love this Streamlight and as much as I recommend it, it does have one small little negative, and that is that it can only run off of rechargeable 10440 batteries. And recently my wife and I went on vacation and we were on a cruise, and on day 1 of 9 this battery failed, and I did not take extra rechargeable batteries with me. And even though this is AAA size, you cannot use a AAA battery in this light. So that got me searching for other lights that are a similar size, similar output, but that can use standard AAA batteries or a 10440 rechargeable battery, and it brought me to this Olight, the i3T EOS. The Olight's also going to have a rear tail switch. It's going to have a 2-way pocket clip, and actually have more output than the Streamlight when you're using the 10440. So stick around if you want to learn about this little light. We'll do a real quick unboxing. We'll go over all the features and specifications. We'll go over the user interface, try to give you guys some beam shots, and then give some thoughts on it. Quickly show you the box. There's a QR code you can scan there. Looks like this is going to have a lifetime warranty, and there's some of the specs. Well, let's get this open up and we'll see what all we get with it. Alright, let's pull this thing out here. Looks like underneath we're going to have a manual, maybe some extra O-rings there, the light itself, and maybe a battery. Yes. Let's pull that cap off, get that film out, and then see what battery they give us. So it is just a standard AAA here, and there's that little film that was on it. Quickly show you this manual, just in case there's anything that I leave out in this review, or in case you buy this light and lose your manual. You can always come back to this video for reference. Give you guys some close-ups here before we start going over all the details. So this is going to be made out of aluminum with the black anodization. It's kind of like a matte finish. It does have like these spirals in the middle of the body here. A little bit of knurling kind of up here on the cap. This rubber switch does have some knurling kind of on the tip of that. The pocket clip does look to be a little bit different. It has a little more of a shine than what the flashlight itself does. This is going to have a waterproof rating of IPX8 and have a drop rating of 1.5 meters. We are looking at a total length of about 3.5 inches with a body diameter of about 0.6 inches. For size reference, there it is next to a thing of chapstick, and there it is on top of a dollar bill. As you can see, it is very tiny. And just to show it against the Streamlight, it's actually significantly shorter. We are looking at a weight of 1.4 ounces, which is 40 grams. All right, let's get into the user interface. I don't know what LED they're using in this. It's definitely a cool white temperature around 6,000 to 6,500 Kelvin. This light is going to have momentary or constant on. If you want momentary, you just kind of half press the tail switch. If you want constant, you full press. So let's do momentary here first. See that came on there like that. And now if I want constant, I just push it all the way in. It's also going to have two outputs. We're on the highest amount right here, which is 200 lumens. That will go for about 7 minutes, and then it will drop down to about 100 lumens and go for another half hour or so. If you use a rechargeable lithium ion 10440, which is what I'm probably going to do, you'll get 350 lumens instead of 200. To switch to the lower output, you can either do it with like a half presses or you can fully click it in a few times. It's going to be a low amount of 5 lumens, and that will run for about 21 hours on, again, just a standard AAA battery. So by default, this is set up to where whenever you hit this rear switch, that it comes on in that highest 200 lumen amount, which is what I prefer and the way I'm going to keep it at. There supposedly is a way that you can switch this to where the low comes on every time you hit this. And it says the way to switch that is to lightly press the switch 5 times, holding on the 5th. And I think it's supposed to flash or do something, but let's see what it does here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There, it just flashed and it went to the lower amount. So now every time I turn this on, it should be the lower amount, and it is. So if you prefer to have a low light output, you can do that. And now what we can do is probably a half press and full press to get the high. Yep. So yeah, every time it'll be low when I first turn it on, but you can still access the high. Now you would think that it's the same 5 presses to get back to the original mode, but it's not. You have to do it 9 times to get back. And it says that is done by firmly pressing, so I'm not sure if we have to fully click or not, but let's try it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Whoops, there, switched it back. So now we're back onto the high amount. Kind of weird how it's 2 different ways to switch it, but so I am going to try some 10440 batteries. I'm going to do a flat top first, see if that'll work. If it doesn't, then we'll do a button top. Alright, let's see what we get here. Yeah, that is definitely brighter, and that's that flat top that's in there right now. Again, I've read that it's around 350 lumens. And then let's do the low. It doesn't want to do the low. It's kind of on there, but that seems lower than what it was with the alkaline battery. There it is. Yeah, that not sure why it was much lower there originally, but so yeah, there's our highest, and that is for sure brighter than the AAA battery. So my button tops are just a little bit longer than these alkaline AAAs, and I cannot get that cap to screw down, so kind of keep that in mind. And here's what I'm talking about. I have that button top in there right now, and I cannot get that to screw anymore. The light will still work, but just keep the length of your battery in mind. But again, the flat top worked fine as well. And let's get kind of side-by-side comparison here between the Streamlight and the Olight. And again, I have the 10440 button top in this one as well. So that should be our highest. And yeah, the Olight definitely appears to be brighter. I think this is 250 lumens, and this is supposed to be 300 or 350, but it's definitely a more intense hot spot, and definitely appears to be brighter. Alright, let's see what this Olight looks like here inside the house. I just have the regular alkaline AAA battery in it right now. Again, this is the high, so it should be 200 lumens or so. And then I'm going to compare that to the Streamlight. That's Streamlight now. That's Olight. Streamlight's 250 lumens. And it does look like it is a little bit brighter in here. And now I'm going to do the low with the Olight. Again, probably won't be able to see a whole lot with it, but it does still light up a room though. Alright, I've switched over to the 10440 battery, so it should be a little bit brighter at 350 lumens. And I'm also going to bring up that Streamlight now. So Olight's on the left, Streamlight's on the right. And yeah, definitely the Olight is brighter than the Streamlight now. Alright, I'll show you the Olight outside. It is not the darkest of nights. We'll see what we can get here though. There's a row of trees that's about 60 or 70 feet away from me right now. So I left that 10440 battery in. See, it actually throws pretty well. Again, this is a micro flashlight. Those trees there are probably 150 plus feet, maybe 200 feet away. There's actually a tree that's in between these two trees that's 100 yards away, and I can actually see it pretty well. The camera's probably gonna have a hard time picking that up, but you can kind of faintly see it right in the middle of these two trees. And this light is not getting warm really at all. And I will try to give you a comparison. Again, this is the Olight, and that is the Streamlight. And again, the Olight is definitely brighter. And Streamlight, Olight. Show you guys what that's going to look like down in a pocket. As you can see, it is a very deep carry and doesn't really take up any space at all in your pocket. And also you can put it on the brim of a hat and use it as a improvised headlamp. So I've been carrying and using this light for a few days now, and overall I really like it. I probably have 25 or 30 of these AAA size lights, and I'm telling you, they are so useful. And even at 200 lumens, 250 lumens, for most tasks, that's really all the light that you'll need. Some of the things I like about this light, first thing is, love having a rear tail switch, and I like that you can have a momentary on and off. You don't have to like fully click it on. I bought this little Phoenix here probably 10 or 15 years ago, and it did not have a rear tail switch. And so many years later, they introduced one with it, so I immediately bought that because I like having a rear tail switch. And obviously my little Streamlight that I carry every day has a rear switch there as well. I like that the user interface is pretty simple on it. You basically got two modes, high and low, and it's fairly easy to get into both of them. I like that this has this two-way pocket clip so that you can use this as an improvised headlamp if you need to. I like that this uses just a standard AAA battery, which you can literally find anywhere, a gas station, a grocery store, drugstore, wherever they have them. But you can also use that 10440 for more output. You can also use nickel metal hydride rechargeable AAAs, which is what I would recommend over the standard AAA, just because these don't leak. So if I'm leaving a battery in a flashlight for a long time, I wouldn't use an alkaline battery. And again, I'm personally probably going to keep the 10440 in there, but if I'm on vacation or somewhere else again and that battery dies or fails or whatever, I can pick up a AAA battery anywhere. A couple things that I dislike about this light. First is when I'm using that 10440, it does seem to be just a little bit glitchy. It doesn't want to just always come on the high. Sometimes it like flickers just a little bit first. Once you hit it a couple times, and it seems to work fine, but just want to let you know about that. And the second thing is, I think it's kind of weird how if you want to change from high to low for your initial come on, that you hit that 5 times and hold, but to change it back, it's like 9 full presses. It's kind of weird how to change between them, but that's not a deal breaker. And I definitely recommend this. If you're looking for something that's small, bright, perfect for EDC, this would be a good fit for you. So again, I bought this light. Olight did not send it to me or anything. They're available on Amazon, and I paid $14 for mine. That's what they're still priced at right now. I think they're normally around $20, which is still a great deal for it. And it looks like they have them available in blue, green, and orange as well. But I'll leave the link for the black one down in the video description in case you guys want to find out more information on the light. I think there's like thousands of reviews if you want to look at any of them, or if you want to pick one up. If you guys are wanting to know if I would choose this Olight over the Streamlight, the answer to that is still no. This will still be my EDC. The switch is just way more responsive. Plus, I like how the Streamlight can be programmed where you have just one mode. It just always is on high no matter what. But this will definitely be my vacation and travel flashlight going forward. But alright guys, if you found the video helpful or informative in any way, please hit that like button. It really helps the channel out. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. And that's going to be it on this one. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it.